Okay, mid-duck. I'm going to start with this quick video. Couple things to sort of justify my mad-theory. Okay, cognitive and psychological and psychiatric effects of ionizing radiation exposure. This was published by the U.S. National Library of Medicine. A lot of big words, so I'm going to read the last sentence here. With this present paper, we aim to present a comprehensive review on brain effects of radiation exposure with a special focus on its impact on cognitive processes and psychological functions, as well as on their possible role in the psychopathology of different psychiatric disorders. Something like that. Read it. And it kind of explains everything. I think the published date was 2012. Comprehensive, very good. Mentioned Chernobyl a lot. But, okay, now radiation weakens the immune system. Now the immune system protects our body, our organs, our blood, our bones, things like that from attacks from bacteria and diseases that naturally occur in nature. Sort of a God-given system, like our shields, like when you're in Star Trek, the shields are on in the Enterprise, and when they shoot at them, the bullets just like bounce off. That's what it is, the immune system. And but it not only protects our physical being, it protects our mental being as well. Now mentally, our brain is a supercomputer that processes information from our sensory perceptors billions and billions of times a minute. Second, not minute. And our immune system also protects, like our psyche being, our psychological being. It protects us from being attacked from illogical information that does not compute, like that, does not compute, Will Robinson. It doesn't compute. But we have a natural immune system that not only protects our brain tissue and the organ itself, but also protects us psychologically to process information. And it's just like a circuit breaker that some bad information comes in, like you got a rhinoceros charging you, that's some bad information. You stop everything else and react. But if you weaken your immune system, you weaken your organs in your body, in your blood, and your bones, and your tissues of your brain, but you also weaken the psychological protection. The shields are down, Scotty. We need full power. And what causes the shields to go down is this bombardment of radiation that has happened since after World War II, and we know how we got the scientists over here from Germany. They're a bunch of occultists, and they couldn't finish their work in Germany because Germany lost the war and was going to be chaos, and they needed a safe place, so they went to the United States. And that takes us to the forest around Chernobyl. Now this is from Smithsonian. This is 2014. This is a more recent actual publication. I've been telling everybody about this. Nobody listens. But they've had plenty of time to do studies now at Chernobyl. 30 years. And there's still exclusion zones. Nobody can go in. They found, this is just a great story. Just read it if you're interested. And if not, don't. Most people really aren't. But this is part of the puzzle. Now, I'm going into the puzzle here. More of the matrix here in a minute. But the bacteria and fungus isn't breaking down the organic material as it naturally does in nature. And it's an effective radiation guarantee. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of this is just low-level radiation. The animals, less bees, less insects, fewer spiders, trees grow slower. The animals have significantly smaller brains. It affects you, like I said, it not only affects you physically, it affects you mentally. And it's the same thing's going to happen to people. Plants, all flesh will be corrupted. In order to corrupt the human flesh, the byproduct of that is corrupting all flesh. That's why you have those seed banks and all that, those embryo and sperm and egg, for different species, storage areas. You gotta keep it going after the big event happens. Chernobyl power plant. This is the whole thing. This is part of it. This is what's going to happen. I mean, this is happening around Fukushima, but this has been happening since they started bombarding the Earth. It doesn't happen just on the ground. It happens in the atmosphere. It happens underground. It happens everywhere. They covered the whole spectrum. They just bombed the shit out of everything. They nuked everything, and we are the byproduct. We are part of it. And you know, I can't tell you how to protect yourself because I don't know. We're all affected. It's crazy. I mean, but you can turn off some of the stimulators that go along with this radiation poisoning and this easiness that your brain can just be filled with propaganda and just this no-care attitude. I'll follow you blindly anywhere, because that's what they need. That's what they want. That's what they're looking for. The fallen angels, the demons, who are, oh shit, the wrong one. Oh, that's okay. The demons. Who are the demons? The satanically influenced people? World leaders. Their kids aren't going to war. Their families aren't going to war. They're not going to be fighting. No, that's for the Goem. That's for the peons. That's for us. That's for your children, our children. Yeah, they got to be. These guys got things to do. They got parties to go to. They have people to invite. There's a big party coming up, and everybody's sending out the invitation right now. And nobody is different from anybody else. They're all in it together. It's like a big game. It's just for them. It's just a big game, and everybody dies. Well, not them, not their families, but everybody else does. And it's a big game. Just a big game. Now, what's that got to do with radiation? Well, I told you, it weakens your ability to make common sense decisions. And everybody's, even mine. And you accept their input, their television, their entertainment, their movies, their sports. They're all these things that have this nonsense, crap bullshit, as long as you pay your taxes and support them, like the giants of Enoch's days. All the people, their whole job was to feed these things, and when they could no longer feed them, they ate the people. But we do the same thing. We feed these people our taxes and our money and our sweat and our blood and our lives, eventually, and they profit from us. And when we can't feed them enough, look, they'll eat us, which they're getting ready to do, or they're doing already. They're eating us. They're taking our very souls. Okay. Now, what's this got to do with U.S. airstrikes in Libya? Everything. We're going to have a war, and it's going to be, it's not going to be like Vietnam days when people, I'm not going to fucking war. People are going to be flying to the recruitment centers, and they're going to be signing up for war as fast as their pen will allow them to write. You know that, or they're probably going to have some app you can apply on your iPhone to go to war, or go into the Army or Marines or whatever. It's probably already have an app for that. I don't even know. But U.S. airstrikes in Libya, and who are they looking for? They're looking for them bad ISIS. Them ISIS seem to be everywhere. I mean, conveniently, everybody's fighting ISIS. Wait, let's go back to over here. Everybody's fighting ISIS. Where are they fighting them at? Well, hell, where else? Mesopotamia. It always leads back to Mesopotamia, and that is what are the odds? I got to tell you that. What are the odds? Now, America's bombing over here in Libya. Now, Libya isn't exactly. Mesopotamia would be more like this here. Bae. Something more like that. But Libya's like a front row seat, you know what I mean? And what is here? Egypt, Libya, Chad, Sudan. Sudan's all chaos. Chad's chaos. Libya's chaos. We got that under control. We can bomb the shit out of anybody and do whatever we want, even with Egypt. But Egypt's part of Mesopotamia, so it's part of the plan. Now, but what's under here? The giant Nubian aquifer. A giant limestone encased water lake. Enough for a country for over 200 years, 500 years maybe. That's what Gaddafi had tapped into and was pumping over here to Tripoli. And that's when, that Farrakhan said that, hey, they're going to bomb the shit out of you, man, because you accomplished this giant feat of getting this water here to the people for free. And they did, and messed it all up. Still is not pumping to this day, but the aquifer is still intact. Now, if a nuclear war would happen here, what's going to be the first thing to go? Oil? No, fuck you. It's water. There's going to be no fucking water here. Where's the water at? Down over here. And some of the geologists think that the aquifer actually goes across here in the Sinai and down all of Egypt, most of Libya, and then down here, Chad and Sudan. And this whole area. And if a nuclear war would happen, guess what? Nothing gets in. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out, except if you pump it out. If this water, once this is empty, it will never replenish. It's impossible. Nothing can get in from the surface. Not even nuclear fallout. You know how much money this is going to be worth right here? Billions. Billions. Dang, it always happens in Mesopotamia. What's going on here? Yeah, and look at this. Okay, wait. Here we are. So we're going to Libya. We're going in, man. That's it. We're going in. We need a front row seat. This whole thing's about to happen. We want to be there, but we kind of sort of look back. It's like one of those things about it's about like the movie with Bruce Willis when he's man in the middle sort of thing. Everybody against everybody. We're going to kind of take a side, like front row seat here and watch what happens. These guys. Oh, and who are they fighting? ISIS. This is ISIS here. This isn't really the ISIS, the fighters. This is Isis, the ancient Egyptian goddess they worshipped, and it goes back to the Sumerian days of Ishtar. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's a convenient excuse to bomb the shit out of anybody, anytime, anywhere, without justification. All they have to say is, ISIS be there, and they can bomb the shit out of them and go invade the country. How fucking stupid is that? It's stupid as this. That's how stupid it is. And what's happening here? Oh, Saudi and Turkey is going to go in. Let's go back over here, and they want to invade right now. They're going to. What does Saudi even fucking have to do with anything at all? We have Saudi, we have Turkey's coming down. Saudi coming up from the front, from the rear. Turkey coming down from the top. We got and NATO coming in from the west, and all over this little fucking country here, but this little fucking area. Now we got Russia, we got all these countries here, Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. They said they would back Iran, and so would Russia and China with the Assad regime. And then we have NATO wanting to get the Assad regime out, and we have Saudi Arabia wants them out, and they want Iran wiped off, and they want to bomb the shit out of Yemen at the same time, and somehow Turkey's getting involved in all this shit. And you know something's up. And the Kurds are fighting ISIS over here, or something like that, or the rebels, or fighting Syria. And it's a whole thing. We got all these fucking people just fucking fighting, and nobody knows what the fuck is going on whatsoever. And it goes back to the cognitive and psychological and psychiatric effects of ionizing radiation exposure. Psychologically speaking. Force around Chernobyl. You think, okay, in evolution, we are the same as bacteria. We're the evolutionists now. You know, it's going to affect them, but we've evolved further because we evolved, right? Okay, if we evolved, then you cannot deny this is going to happen. But it's going to happen anyway because we are a biological species and we can't help that. Those guys, they're getting out of here, man. They're building shelters underground. Saudi's going to go attack Mesopotamia. It always happens here. This is where the action is. This is it, man. Oh, too much. This be it. Mesopotamia. What's happening in Mesopotamia? Well, you got Babylon there. That's where Nimrod tried to conjure up some demons a long time ago. And they're still there underneath the Euphrates. And they're going to try to get them out. But it's going to take a lot of men. It's going to take a lot of people. And they got them. Look. They're surrounded. And look, it's billions. And how many people are involved in this? You think there's 200 million people in the military from all these armies? Not just one army, all the armies combined. NATO, the Russians, the Chinas, the Indians, the Pakistanis, the Afghanistans, the Iranians, the Americans, the Canadians, half of South America, some of Africa. Oh, God only knows. You think there's going to be 200 million people right here? You tell me. Nobody said anything about one side with 200 million. It just said a 200 million man army. This is going to be one 200 million man army at least by the time everybody gets here. But this little tiny fucking area spot on Earth. Israel just happens to be right here. Alright, that's it. Duck me out.